commentator's booth. We are having a slight hiccup with the commentator's feed. We will hopefully have this fixed in just a moment and be able to get right back on track for everybody here. That being said, once again, I don't know if you can hear me, so if you can't, haha.
Oh, it looks like we're back. Okay, let's see if I can refresh my feed here. Very sorry for the tech issues here. We're getting it ironed out as soon as possible. This was exciting! Why does it...
I am not sorry for the tech issues. You know what? I'm going to say that. I apologize for nothing.
Alright, looks like the mainstream is live, but we're going to have delayed commentary if that's the case.
Alright.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm looking at the current speed gaming feed right now, and I'm seeing two Knights titles there on the Centaur. Now it's an 8-8. That's a curveball.
Things have changed since the last time I'd unseen this board state.
You know, Frico really taking a chance on that 2-for-1 value that I was talking about earlier. And now it's going to be a 3-for-1 if Uncle Drake can draw a Lich's Caress. Like, dang.
Yeah, that Centaur needs to start destroying things. It's got vigilance. Even if it takes down the worm and, you know, a sapperling and another thing, that's still a lot of stuff taken down. I want to see that Centaur do some work.
Alright, looks like I got the feedback here, so y'all don't get delayed commentary here. Alright.
Same. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So, board states changed. The Siege Worm is gone from Frico's side of the board since I've last seen it.
Yes, Siege Worm on that side is gone, and instead we have a massive 8-8 Centaur accompanied by, I think a gaggle is the proper term when speaking about unicorns, a gaggle of unicorns.
Something like that, yeah. So Uncle Drake tells Frico, yo, I heard like enchantments, here's a deadweight. Goodness.
Yeah, this is some business right now. We have another Siege Worm over here for Uncle Drake, and both of these players at this point have so much mana that they're playing whatever they want when they draw it. That board, something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. I mean, I don't know who's going to be able to make the moves, who's going to have to sit behind and, you know, take the punches, but another... Is it the same one? Oh, I don't know if I like that.
I feel uncomfortable about the potential 4-for-1 at this point, X-Water.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I also feel uncomfortable. And also, like, that Centaur needs to attack. It's a 10-10. You got to use that. If it takes out 2 worms, that's a win.
Well, it would only take out 1 worm at this point, because if you use fungal infection on the Centaur, Uncle Drake gets to keep a worm, but Frico doesn't know that, so you can't help but wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and where is that Lich's Caress? That's something, a big removal spell in Pauper in black. I'm sure Uncle Drake is running it. I would be shocked if he was not.
What I see a Healing Grace there. What does Healing Grace do?
I think it might prevent damage, including combat damage to a creature for 1 turn. I think. Let me take a quick look.
Yeah, it prevents the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn by a source of your choice, and you gain 3 life. So that could be a very useful a card to use when attacking with this Centaur.
Okay, so clearly Uncle Drake knows something that you and I do not know concerning their deck, X-Water, and here's why. Double fungal infection was used. What if Frico decides they want to start swinging with that 10-10? Now you don't have that nice little value of being able to keep a worm around.
Yeah, I don't think I understand either. And like, it's not, there's a meaty amount of sapperlings over here for Frico. There are 10 sapperlings down for Frico. In addition to having a 10-10 and 4-4 vigilance, 3 2/2s. I believe those unicorns also have lifelink. And then to top it all off...
Oh, you go in with that Centaur. You have Moment of Triumph and Healing Grace. Moment of Triumph gives pump plus life gain. You go in with that Centaur at this point. You do not wait.
Yeah, the board is just waiting to be demolished right here. Uncle Drake has 1 card, 2 cards in hand, back to 1 card in hand. And... whether it's chump blocks or big blocks with the Siege Worm, that Centaur doesn't tap. It has vigilance. There's no risk. There's no risk right now.
What if I told you, X-Water, that centaur can be killed by one creature right now? On Uncle Drake's side.
I would say...
The Thallid Omnivore, which...
Does it give Death Touch?
No, it does not, but it pumps. You sacrifice a creature, and that pumps for every creature sacrificed. That is that is the biggest creature on the board right now. And Uncle Drake testing it! Oh, I like it, Uncle Drake. I like it a lot. That's a great play there by Uncle Drake. Let's see how many trades Uncle Drake can get for this creature. I'm excited, X-Water.
All right, so we're throwing 8 power at it. We're gonna need a lot of sapperling sacrifices from Uncle Drake over here to get through, or maybe he does nothing. I don't know. He's probably gonna sack.
Oh, he'll sacrifice stuff. Look at all those sapperlings over there. There's no way you don't sacrifice. Yeah. And when you're right now, Uncle Drake is getting severely mana flooded. This is absolutely the play to make right now, and a very brave play to make. I love it right now. Good timing here for Uncle Drake. So right now, if y'all can't read it, I be your dictionary here for cards. So we have Thallid Omnivore. It is a 3/3 effective card. Sacrifice one creature for 1 mana, and it can be multiple creatures per turn. But for 1 mana, sacrifice another creature. Thallid Omnivore gets +2/+2 till end of turn. If a Sacriling was sacrificed this way, you gain 2 life per Sacriling.
Yeah, makes you wonder why 2 Llanowar elves were sacrificed.
I mean, they weren't doing much, to be fair. Look at all the mana Uncle Drake has.
That's fair. I mean, there's still bodies on the field. When there's 10 sapperlings from the opponent, I think it's worth holding on to them if need be, not to sack them. Even when there was an additional sacrifice there that didn't have to happen.
Now
we see another Healing Grace. If this centaur doesn't start swinging now that that creature is tapped, I don't know when it will. This is the big chance, one opportunity.
You go for it because you can chump for 10 turns with the Sapperlings Freako has. You absolutely just go in with the 10/10 Drake. You don't go in with the Centaur unless you're willing to use multiple tricks here. Keep in mind that Uncle Drake can also just chump as well. The Centaur does not have trample, which is one of the reasons why when these Knights titles were placed on the Centaur, I was thinking, why not the Worm? The Worm has trample. Trample would be huge right here, and that's not an option right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, and taking a lot of time to think about this block. I feel like Uncle Drake is trying to decide, do I use my worms? Do I throw a lot of energy at this centaur, or do I chump? And I think the chump was the chosen decision, as it appears.
It's a good decision, too.
I agree.
This is a good point from the chat. Alternatively, you could take 10 as well, and you can gain that much life back from the Sapperlings. That is also a possible thing to happen here.
We can gain back 6 from sacrificing Sapperlings on Uncle Drake's side of the board. That is a good point. I think there's... I mean, I guess you could sack or block with a Sapperling, sacrifice that Sapperling, gain the 2 life, and combat would fizzle.
So, I don't know. What do you do here? You don't attack. That's understandable. Another Centaur for... That was a very fortunate draw. Uncle Drake's got to have some kind of trick in that deck right now. Hopefully a kill spell in their case to get rid of that Centaur. If that Centaur gets, in this case, 4 for 1 at this point, I don't think much is going to be able to stop Uncle Drake.
Yeah. Uncle Drake is a little bit shorter on creatures, though, than Freako is. And Healing Grace blocks, 3 damage, right? And then Moment of Triumph can do how much?
Moment of Triumph grants +2/+2 temporary pump to a creature till end of turn, and Freako gains, I believe, 2 life off of that.
Okay, so that would be an essentially 6... From the 6 damage you could negate from the Healing Grace, plus an additional having the Centaur at 12-12 at that point, there would need to be a lot of sacrifices for that Thaliad to be able to do anything about that. And part of me feels like I would love to see that Thaliad try to block this Centaur and then have these tricks come out. After the Thaliad sacrifices essentially its whole board, it would need to sacrifice, get 5 creatures to get up to 13-13, which would need an additional... You would need to sacrifice, I think, 8 creatures total to be able to defeat the Centaur after it plays all of the combat tricks, maybe even 9.
Yes, and I will say this much. I don't know if I would have swung with both 4/4s because there's only one moment of triumph.
Exactly.
That's the pump spell. The Healing Grace can only prevent damage, so I don't know.
It can keep one safe. It can definitely keep one safe. Maybe it might be a bold play. You know, I have 3 cards in my hand, and I attacked with my clearly losing 4/4s against your worms. So this could be a very bold call out. And Uncle Drake not backing down, going to block both 4/4s with both worms. One moment of triumph can defeat 1 worm and 1 healing grace. Ooh, and we see double blocks coming in.
I like it. This is a brilliant block by Uncle Drake. Uncle Drake knows there's going to be combat tricks. After all, Freako's been holding on to 3 in hand for the longest time. So Uncle Drake's like, let's see it. Let's see what you're actually holding for a change.
I like it. That's a great play, especially because in MTG Arena, it's, you know, when it's automated, you know for a fact that those cards are in the player's hand because the game is making you wait for them to decide if they're going to use them or not. Unlike standard MTG with paper, where, you know, you just ask the person like, okay, go ahead. Like, you don't know what's in their hand. There's no algorithm saying, hold on, we need to make sure this person's cool with this, with the turn proceeding or not.
Hey, Xwater. This is still game 1.
Large yikes.
That's a big yikes from me. Oh my goodness. Now here's why this play was so brilliant. Because Uncle Drake did the double block on each one, Freako's in a really tough position. Freako has no ability to get any value off this play. None whatsoever. And it's brilliant. It's an absolute brilliant play on Uncle Drake's part.
Ooh, and there it goes.
The silver lining, the healing grace, it's still in Freako's hand. That's good news for the Thaliad that's going to be swinging in probably very soon.
Mm-hmm. And we have the kicker Saproling creation right now, though. That is going to get kicked a lot. And that's going to be really good. Did it not get kicked?
It did get kicked. It only produces 4 tokens. We're playing Pauper.
Oh, that's right. It's not multi-kick. For some reason, I got it mixed up with those multi-kicker spells. My brain's stuck in commander mode right now.
Oh, absolutely. And that's easy to do considering how awesome of a format commander is. Okay, so if you're Freako, I believe you just chump here. I believe, especially with the 2 healing graces in hand, you swing with the Centaur the next turn, right? I would say.
I think so. Okay, so this is interesting. We're going to try and use these healing graces and a couple of Saprolings for good measure to take down this Thaliad. We have, out of the Saprolings that can be sacrificed right now, on a potential, what is that, 4 + 3, 7, 14 damage pump and 14 life gain. Look at all these blocks! So bold!
I can't comprehend this. Are these Saprolings shrinking? Oh my gosh.
It's so small. Okay, so we have 10 damage from Saprolings, 10 damage from a Centaur, and 1 from a Llanowar Elves. This is the boldest block I have seen tonight. And with the healing graces, I think we're going to see that Centaur, at the very least, the Centaur should live. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm very nervous to see how this plays out for Freako.
It plays out with Uncle Drake just gaining a metric ton of life. That is the measurement I'm using here. I cannot comprehend the amount of life that Uncle Drake is about to gain off of this. I cannot watch.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. This game is definitely a wild one. This is why Pauper is so interesting, because you get into these weird, sticky situations.
Yeah, you don't have any planeswalkers to bail you out of anything. You don't have any board whites to bail you out of anything. You have to get very creative in Pauper, and this match is the embodiment of how and why you have to be creative in Pauper. Look at this.
All right, and we sacrificed enough just to get through there, but gonna leave the Centaur alive. Now, this is... I'm a little worried for Frico in the long run, just because, you know, one kill spell. That's all it's going to take right now.
And Uncle Drake's just like, I'm going to soak this. Why not, considering the amount of life gain there.
Yeah, that Vigilance, though, doing real money-making moves over here.
Mammoth Spider with the 5 toughness.
It's not a bad card to pull right now.
No, not at all.
Spider, Worm, and... See, this is really interesting because the Spider, the Worm, and the Wardrobe together, and by Wardrobe I mean that 2/2 on the side, could all work together to block this Centaur for 10, but there are multiple combat tricks ready to, you know, keep that Centaur alive. We're going to see a single chump block on the Llanowar Elves instead. And we've got 3 extra Saproling chump blockers throughout the turn, so we're not going to see too much danger here for at least a few turns.
Yeah, it's going to take quite a few turns for, that with the Yavimaya Shepherd again. It's going to take quite a few turns. I think the biggest flaw in this match right now is that the Centaur does not have Trample. If the Centaur had Trample,
this would be over
way more interesting. Oh, yeah. And, oh, no, don't
not on the same one!
No! Look, this is hurting my heart right now. No.
That is 4... all 4 in the deck on one Centaur.
No, why?
This is like Lord of the Rings of the enchantments. Went and gathered all the homies, and he's taken his voyage into the Mordor that is Uncle Drake's life total.
The question is, will Frico get 5 for 1?
Yeah, there is a minimal amount of, you know, kill spell action going on with Uncle Drake here. It seems to be like a very far away afterthought for the deck. And that's... Yeah. Oh, and we're getting a full swing there. Oh, no, we're not getting a full swing. Definitely going to see at least one block on that. Yeah.
No, Uncle Drake knows something's up, and they're playing very smart right now against the board state. I have to give them kudos. Right now, if I'm Uncle Drake, all I can think of is, where the heck is my removal? I mean, look at how thin Uncle Drake's deck is getting right now.
Yeah, they're getting small.
By the way, folks, if you walk away from anything in this match, never quadruple enchant something without hexproof. I mean, don't even do it with hexproof. Just, oh my goodness. I can't look, X-Water. Every time Uncle Drake jaws, I'm like, eyes wide open. Okay, where is it?
Whew. This is like watching your friend in high school go up and do their improv comedy act at the talent show. You don't know how it's gonna go. The only thing you know is that you're nervous.
Uncle Drake making a move saying
blocks.
Uncle Drake does not trust their luck right now. Can I blame them? No, considering how many lands they've drawn in a row. So yeah. I get that. I get that. Uncle Drake's probably like, dang, they're probably tired of talking about this match. Let me see what I can do here.
I think, so we have, what, 5, 3, 3. That makes a total of 11, 12, 13, and then 8, 19 total damage on the stack here for the blockers. That is enough to take care of the Centaur, even with the double healing graces, I believe. That's very quick maths, though. That is not like my slow, take my time, carry my zeros maths.
That's your quick maths?
My quick maths.
Well, this much I know, both sides are going to be left with, like, very small creatures on both sides of the board. That's what I can predict right now. Alright, here comes the 5 for 1 right here. 5 for 1 creature, that is.
Ooh. 5 for a few more than 1, but yeah. And now we have a board state This is so weird.
Wait,
this
what
is
happened?
the weirdest video game I've ever seen.
Oh, I know why Frico didn't use healing there. Okay.
Saving them for later?
No, it doesn't add any power to anything. So there were no more creatures Frico could kill. Yeah. And right now, Frico's like, okay, give me a creature, anything big, anything like 2 toughness and above. I'm gonna try this in bad, but it's not gonna get the job done right here.
Yeah, not gonna save you. And we're gonna go 4 deep on the opponent's Saprolings right here.
Why not? You know,
yeah,
Uncle
you
Drake's
got
down
3
to 7
spells
life.
in your hand to take care of it if you like. We're probably gonna see something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You do this here.
Yeah. I don't like how few. This turned out going the other way than I would have expected. Uncle Drake now with the board advantage and the card advantage in hand as well. Not necessarily in terms of value in hand, but there isn't anything in Frico's hand that's going to say, sorry, Uncle Drake, you're not punching me for anywhere like 6-ish to 10-ish a turn.
Also, what is up with all the lands? Both of these decks.
I know, it's crazy.
They're either having incredibly bad luck or both of these decks are playing more land than they should be. I don't know which one of it is. You know, I almost expected Uncle Drake to play like Colossal Dreadmaw, just something huge by now, but just, you know, we saw the Siege Worm, which is good. But I don't know. Yeah, this is turn 30. That's true. Alright, I want to know how many cards Uncle Drake has left in the deck.
I'm also curious. Double Saproling migration right there. That's going to be, I think, what basically seals this game, though. We're getting an additional 8 Saproling tokens down. That's an additional 7 damage minimum that's through. This is going to take no more than 2 more turns to end this game, assuming Frico's draws stay as they are. And yeah, Frico calling it there. I think that match could have gone the other way if some different plays were made when those boards were as big as they are. But honestly, I don't fault either player in the way that they played there, because those big meaty board states where, you know, you're not playing with kill spells and you just have big creatures on the board. It's hard to know when to attack, when to block, what to do in those situations. And sometimes, you know, you want to play it a little safe and you don't want to be the one to make that first move when you maybe should or shouldn't or whatever have you. So I think that really brought for an interesting mind game matchup there.
You know, I don't think either player is running removal. I thought about everything we had seen in the last match, and I would have assumed that at least Uncle Drake was maybe playing some removal in the black, but no, I don't think I recall seeing any. It's just both brute force and tokens. So, a couple of early Rosemane Centaurs might do some good, especially after Frico knows how much token production Uncle Drake runs. You go with that early now, you don't wait. Alright, so, Centaur going in, just as I thought Uncle Drake taking the damage, saying, I can gain the life back later. Alright. So no Siege Worm this turn, because Golgari Gilgate came in on the field tapped. However, we do see a little bit of removal here. I believe this is Deadweight that Uncle Drake is about to play on one of the Centaurs. Great move.
What was once a triumphant man of the forest is now a little pony man coming through 2-2.
Alright, so, full out swing here. I agree with this. Frico definitely got the upper hand here, but I believe that Siege Worm is coming out next turn, and you know, there's a moment of triumph, with this, which is good, but that Siege Worm's really going to slow things down for Frico.
Yeah. Nice to get as much damage on Uncle Drake as Frico has so far, though. That's 9 health taken out so far, and without that sacrifice sapperling creature, the Thaliot of whatever type it was, it's going to be hard for Uncle Drake to gain that life back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no sign of the life gainer anywhere right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Siege Worm coming out, they gotta feel good about that.
Oh, for sure. Siege Worm is it's a 5/5 with trample on it. That is nothing to scoff at.
I will tell you something that Uncle Drake does have that Frico does not have is card draw. We saw a lot of that come into play in the last match. Alright, so I assume everything that is going to summon the Siege Worm's coming out, and yes, there's the Siege Worm, still leaving a blocker behind. Not a bad draw for Frico with the Sapperling migration, but Frico going in first, great habit to develop. I have a feeling Siege Worm will take down one of the Bishop soldiers there.
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, yeah, and that's what's interesting about this game. We're seeing Frico almost as if like trying to play a little bit more aggressive than last time, going for those wide swings into the Siege Worm, because you're getting the damage through. You've done a lot already, and keeping that pressure on is a great way to potentially get there, you know?
I feel like Frico's got a good early game, but Uncle Drake has an even better late game. So Uncle Drake has to survive until then. And with all these Sapperlings about ready to hit the board, that should help Uncle Drake do just that. As again, no trample on Frico's side of the board. Frico needs to wait for the Siege Worm. Exactly.
I would have liked to have seen Sapperling migration out of Frico there with the kicker as well. Instead, we had the Unicorn come down with 2 Sapperlings instead of 4. Or we could have changed that up, gotten 4 Sapperlings one turn and played the Unicorn the next turn. And when you're starved, well, I wouldn't say starved for creatures, but when you're in a creature flexing contest, seeing who can have more, who has a stronger board to push through, I think you want to get as many bodies as you can out. And I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, just let this resolve. Moment of Triumph doesn't really change much right now in the current board state. And this is a decent trade for Uncle Drake right now, given the Sapperlings will come back. Gets to draw a card off the vine. And again, as I was saying before, the card draw really, really, really gives Uncle Drake the upper hand. Look at this! A costly plunder also. Uncle Drake may be picking up some steam soon. As long as he protects that Siege Worm, Uncle Drake's in fantastic shape here. Even though the score doesn't look that way, I encourage everybody, before judging a game by its score, take a look at the board state. Board state is almost as important, if not more important, than life total, unless you're going up against something like red. Alright, here comes all this card draw here for Uncle Drake. I don't think Uncle Drake plans on swinging this turn, so definitely the order in which things are happening, totally acceptable. Alright, the Healing Grace here is really good for Frico. That was a fantastic draw in the current board state right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Undercity Uprising would actually be one of the closest things to a board wipe that somebody could get in Pauper. That's actually pretty good thinking. The Fungal Infection and the Moment of Triumph save the Sapperling. I don't know how I feel about this play currently, considering you would want the Moment of Triumph to be available so the Centaur can attack, and you can use Healing Grace and Moment of Triumph against that. I don't know. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and say that when I'm not actively involved in the game, but I don't know if I would have necessarily done that.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhat on the same page as you. I think I can agree with that notion. And there's the costly plunder. We're gonna get a couple extra cards over here, and the land. What is this? How many lands are these players running? Who's stacking these decks? I wanna judge to come in and reshuffle here.
Well, Frico hasn't seen as many lands, and Uncle Drake's drawn more,
That's
so it's
fair.
understandable. But dang, I want to see more action. I don't want to see more
Same.
lands. Come on now. And one of the best white commons out there, Revitalize. If you're playing, should be running probably a 4 of a Revitalize. It's so great. The value's good. 3 life, extra card, thins your deck out. Can't go wrong with Revitalize.
Oh yeah.
There's also another one I recently discovered. It's another one where you draw a card except you gain 4 life too. So definitely keep an eye out. And if you want to build a deck like that, certainly it's quite plausible.
Oh yeah. Red's a really safe. Red Burn is a really safe popper deck to go down, as a lot of those burn spells just typically are in common, and you can usually find some other ways to bring out some red aggro. This is an interesting matchup. Like, we're seeing the same thing we saw last time, where we have 2 of these centaurs, and they're 4/4, and they're up against this 5/5 worm. I feel like it's like this very interesting, weird wall where one is a little bit taller and the other one's a little bit wider, and it's just like you don't know what's gonna happen. How are these players gonna utilize this? It's just so kooky.
One thing I really like about Uncle Drake's play style is they're patient. And they know exactly, they have a good idea of what's in their deck, what they can draw, and they're making educated decisions every step of the way. In a matchup like this, where the board state is that complex and that hard to keep track of, Uncle Drake is just doing a fantastic job of biding their time until the right moment, as we saw in the last match. Yeah. Will it happen again? Entirely possible, depending on what Frico draws as well. And another centaur for Frico. That's quite good. Now, isn't it a shame that Moment of Craving isn't here right now?
I'm sorry, I totally spaced out for like 2 seconds there when you asked me if I saw something.
No, I said, isn't it a shame that the Moment of Craving pump isn't there? If that Siege Worm was off the field, Frico has good clearance with 3 4/4s in there to get in there.
Yeah, it's such a, and the vigilance, I hate to see vigilance wasted in that way. And maybe not necessarily wasted is the right word, but I want a creature with vigilance to be taking advantage of that vigilance every turn, and because they can't, it just makes me just a little bit sad, you know? Now this is interesting. Are we gonna see? Okay, Frico doesn't want to sit it back, lay down, take any time, sending forward the 2 4/4s with Vigi, the 6/6 with Vigi, and the 2/2, ready to see what Uncle Drake does. Honestly, math is for blockers. Let's go, Uncle Drake.
As long as all 4 of those enchantments don't go on one centaur again, I'll be happy.
Okay. We'll probably see that Healing Grace keep this 4/4 alive that's getting blocked by the worm. Yeah. And then I guess it did thin out Uncle Drake's board a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be enough to really make a big difference here. Especially that Mammoth Spider now can block one of these 4/4s and just effectively nullify it. A Siege Worm joins the fray on the side of the field for Frico now, though. Very interesting to see. That can get through the other Siege Worm, can get through that Reach Spider, can also die to 5 individual Saprolings. So I'm curious to see what Frico's going to do with this Savage Worm next turn. What do you think?
Well, the Omnivore, I think, is going to be the key here that Uncle Drake just put down.
Yeah, that's definitely... Oh,
a second
wow.
Siege Worm. Go, dang.
That, I gotta, the heart of the cards, Yugi just awoken the inner spirit right there. 38 life, 2 siege worms, a 6/6 centaur, and 2 4/4s. That is a massive board state. And this Thaliad is the only thing that's stopping Frico right now from saying, I'm coming in, you can't stop me. We have 8 Saprolings that can be sacrificed, which totals up to an additional 16 damage on that Thaliad if need be, as well as an additional 16 life gained in that case. And only 2 Saprolings need to be sacrificed in order to successfully block any of these creatures on the board. Granted, you'll need to sack 3. No, actually 2 will be enough to beat the Centaur as well. We got Revitalize in the hand, a little bit of card draw. All right. Another Revitalize, a little bit more card draw. And Saproling Migration. I hope we see that held on to until the next turn. Use it for, get that ultimate value, get the 4 Saprolings instead of the 2.
Oh, and the swing here by Frico.
All right.
Well, Omnivore is definitely going to eat one of those. No questions asked. And maybe a Mammoth Spider plus a couple of Saprolings. Let's see how Uncle Drake blocks here. I
would like that. I think the Mammoth Spider and with the Siege Worm, I don't like that. I think a Mammoth Spider and 2 Saproling tokens as blockers would be plenty. Because either way, that Siege Worm will only be able to kill either the Mammoth Spider or both of the tokens. Yeah, this is a little sticky. A little sticky.
Are we still doing phrasing?
Sticky's a very common word to use to describe things that are not that don't leave your grasp when they touch you easily, like glue.
Sorry, Xwater, had to do it. Contractually obligated.
It's true. I did see that clause.
Anyways, though, Uncle Drake again playing the blocks, or playing the attack and the blocking game very well here. Let's see how Frico responds.
Big board state. I don't know if we're gonna see the aggression out. Nope. Frico's gonna
I don't know.
Back.
I feel like you go for that. Maybe I'm wrong, but
it is only 2 sacrifices of that Thaliad to take care of the 6/6. I do see where the caution comes from, but it's a really tough situation for Frico here because that Thaliad still has another 12 life to gain for Uncle Drake, and he's not like he has enough mana to use that pump as much as he needs to. Even if it comes into a situation where it's like, I block your Centaur with a token, and then I sacrifice that token, you don't do any damage, I gain 2 health, and I would have lost the creature either way. Another Omnivore.
Yeah, that was pretty much the draw that Uncle Drake needed. Now, what do they do with that? Now, maybe wait for some more Saprolings to happen. Either way, Frico needs to take action soon, because if Uncle Drake does nothing but get more Saprolings, it's pretty much over.
It almost feels like Uncle Drake is keeping this Thaliad in hand as a bluff. Looks like he's a little hesitant to put it out because he doesn't need it on the board right now. Could save it in the case where I think at this point Uncle Drake is well aware that Frico has no kill spells in the deck, at least as it appears. So I don't know if that Thaliad's coming down or if it's sitting as a little tricky trap. Okay, now we got some action coming in. We're going to need a lot of blockers to take out this Thaliad, and that, I think, is what Uncle Drake's plan was here. Attack with this one, get all the steam out of the system, you know, even use it to kill the 2 Centaurs, potentially, and then play the other Thaliad and keep those other Saprolings as steam as for blockers against that other 6/6 Centaur. I could very well see that being a possibility.
So remember what I was talking about before about attacking first, and
yes.
Uncle Drake does not want to give Frico more information here, so this is actually a really great play.
This is exactly why attacking before you play your creatures and things that make no difference, you know, in terms of what would have happened in the combat phase. This is why playing it at main phase 2 is an important move to make.
All right.
I think sacrifice 2 Saprolings, take out both the Centaurs and one of the opponent's Saprolings. We are effectively doing a 3 for 3, gaining a little bit of life, and you'll have another Thaliad on the board who will be able to essentially, you know, keep that pressure up for if that 6/6 approaches. Oh, but no, instead we're going to go pump it up to 9/9. Now it has the potential to take out 2 Centaurs and 3 Saprolings, or potentially 1 Saproling and one of these other 2/2s. I don't want to see any more of these Saprolings sacrificed, though. I think they're a useful tool for that other Thaliad Omnivore.
Well, here's why Uncle Drake's doing so. You still have the Mammoth Spider to defend, and the second Thaliad Omnivore. So I get why Uncle Drake's doing this.
Yeah, and keeping 2 Saprolings up is going to be enough to essentially... yeah, that's fair.
That's a great play right there.
But now we're in a situation where, honestly, there's only 3 creatures available to sacrifice, and we're back to a very even state. And with 48 life, Frico is in absolutely no rush right now. They're also pretty low on steam. We know Frico has played both of the Siege Worms that they have. We know we've seen at least 3 Centaurs. I don't recall if we've seen a 4th on the board for Frico this game or not. So a lot of those big creatures already used up.
Well, life is no longer an issue here. This is a war of attrition that only ends up in Uncle Drake's favor. I know it looks very bad given the board state right now. Uncle Drake still has the upper hand because the Thaliad Omnivore does so well with life gain, and it does so well with Saprolings, and the odds of the more Saprolings being generated are pretty high in Uncle Drake's deck, especially given the draw situation.
That moment of triumph right there. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's going to require 3 sacrifices from the Thaliad in order to win that combat. I would love if that Vine wasn't there already. Oh, and we have another Omnivore. Wow.
And Uncle Drake still has a draw as well off of that Vine whenever they want it.
Yep.
I think at this point we remove life total from the equation. We don't do it too terribly often in Magic, but we remove life total here. This is all about what's on the board now.
That 40, while I agree to some length, I think that 48 is still a really big number to get through. I hate that these unicorns can't fly. I wish they had flying. Yeah, Frico wants these Thaliads to attack into Frico, but Uncle Drake sitting safe, you know. It's so hard to go against these Thaliads. That Costly Plunder, the name is so fitting right now because using it would be very costly. I don't know if you want to sacrifice one of your essential pump fodder on the board for the Thaliads. See, the thing that has me like thinking right now is if a Thaliad wants to kill that Centaur, it has to sacrifice 2 other creatures. And then if the Centaur gets pumped by the moment of triumph, it has to kill 3 other creatures. And that is essentially a 3 for 3. Granted, the Thaliads will still be there. There'll only be 2 left, and the wall or the spider, depending on what gets sacrificed. And now with that Costly Plunder coming down, we're going to see a little bit less power, unless the draws here do pull forward to give some more Saprolings or juice to these Thaliads.
While I do want to say on one hand that Frico's been a little timid with the field. Oh, and a Siege Worm for Uncle Drake. That was just what they needed at that point.
That's a good draw. The Fungal Infection will be very helpful as well. Looks like we might even see that Fungal Infection come down to just, you know, take out a Llanowar Elves or a Saproling or something. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen Uncle Drake pull that move. But definitely a little safer to save as a combat trick. I think we might start seeing some aggressive plays out of Uncle Drake here, attacking with the Siege Worm, using that Fungal Infection on the Centaur, and effectively trading there would make these Thaliads a force to be reckoned with. And now we're just getting more and more fodder for them to sacrifice. And the farther we get into this board state, the more I'm agreeing that I think Uncle Drake has the upper hand here.
This is why you have to be patient and always be able to read the board state properly. It would have been very easy for any person, experienced or inexperienced, to mess up Uncle Drake's board state. Uncle Drake was very smart about attacking and defending here, in terms of just not making any foolish attacks, making sure value is obtained at all times. Uncle Drake has really, really, really shown us all the art of combat tonight.
All right, and we want to do some work against that Thaliad right there. Gonna force a couple of sacrifices out here, which I can respect that play. I think that's a good move.
And it's not even like Frico could be in full control of what's going on, because, again, we this before. Mammoth Spider is just a force to be reckoned with in terms of defense.
Oh, yeah. 5 toughness on a creature is just no joke, especially that it has reach too. Not that that's made a difference here, but... All right, so we have a total of 10 power on the board blocking this Thaliad. That means we're going to need to see 1, 2, 3, 4 sacrifices to keep the Thaliad alive. Effectively... I think it's worth it. I definitely think it's worth it because it'll clear out all of Frico's board and keep the Thaliad alive. That being said, I'm waiting to see what the choice is here. Gaining that, and it wasn't too long ago we saw Uncle Drake sitting at what, I think 6, 7 life, and back up to 24 with these sacrifices on those Saprolings. Just so powerful.
Yeah, the minute this went over about turn 9, turn 10, I knew instantly, unless Uncle Drake drew literally nil, that Frico was going to be in trouble here, just based on the way Uncle Drake handles combat and the fact that Uncle Drake has so much more draw than Frico does.
Yeah.
Look at this, though. If Frico's objective is to gain as much life as possible, then Frico has accomplished the mission. It's a shame that A, it's out of standard, and B, it can't be played in Pauper, but there's a card out there that actually says, it's like Feldspar or something, but if you have over 40 life and you play the card, you win the game. It's a shame there's no Pauper equivalent. Yeah, Felidar Sovereign, yeah.
Not what you want to see right there. Frico picking up another big plans. Not big enough to make a difference in the current scheme of combat, however. And going for the card draw, seeing that advantageous board state, Uncle Drake not worried about getting a few more cards, drawing more of those lands. We can see how many on the board right now. 2, 5, 8 makes 13, 18 total, no, 19 total lands down on the board. We might be at risk of Uncle Drake milling, just drawing the whole deck.
It was something that had crossed my mind, considering that, well, do we know how many cards are left in Uncle Drake's deck?
I'm not sure, but gotta be able to get through 58 life before this is over. And that 6/6 blocker isn't going anywhere. And I don't know how many more Saprolings. 14 cards left in the deck. We saw it right there. So we got to last 14 more turns here as Frico. And we know Frico has more cards in the deck. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more land flooding for Frico now, though, and a lot more gas for Uncle Drake, considering the current state, though. So I'm not too worried about Uncle Drake being able to get the steam that they need to essentially plow through and win this game. But it's got to be done within the next 14 turns. Which, it really isn't that many. Especially considering some of those cards we draw could end up being card draw cards. And at this point, probably don't want to use them.
No, absolutely not. Frico there looking and is aware of the possible mill situation here, but milling in these colors against these colors? No. Nah.
And making that defense just a little bit bigger right there, saving the moment of triumph. So the next time these Thaliads come through and try to get past that Centaur, they're gonna have to get rid of the entire board on Uncle Drake's side. And whether or not they kill the Centaur or not, if you have to sacrifice 5 creatures to get through it, that's gonna be a loss in my head for Uncle Drake, considering the the amount of damage needing to be done before this game ends. This is wild. This is just wild. Did you expect any of these matches tonight to have a player at 58, almost triple the starting life total?
In Pauper, no, absolutely not.
Okay, so we have one Thaliad attacking, ready to sacrifice, I think, one Spider, another Thaliad, another Llanowar Elves, bringing that total up to 9 in the situation. The Moment of Triumph will be enough to negate 3 of that damage, and at that point could sacrifice the Siege Worm, bring it up to 8 damage, enough to, you know, kill the Centaur. We'll see what happens. Gonna just take it. You know what? We got the life. We have 58 of it. Not worried about it. I think that was a good call by Frico.
Why not just soak it? It's only 3 damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, and increasing the defense further for Uncle Drake. Yeah, this is either ending with Frico forfeiting, which I don't think is going to happen.
No.
With Uncle Drake being milled, or just Uncle Drake getting a ton of Saffrelings by just drawing, but I'm not sure what's left in Uncle Drake's deck. Oh my goodness.
And looking through the yard to see what do we have left in our deck, Frico is frantically looking for options. And just like we were saying, those lands are they had to come in at some point. You know, we haven't seen nearly as much flooding for Frico as we have for Uncle Drake. And Uncle Drake now picking up a very nice dead weight to throw onto that Centaur. Get that defensive force a little bit smaller. Going to make it easier for these Thaliads to come through. Now it's only going to take 2 sacrifices for lethal against the Centaur. 3 if you want to get it with that Moment of Triumph activated.
I feel like we need a timer of some green X-Water to reflect the time limit here in Magic, because this is not going fast in terms of what speed gaming is known for normally.
Yeah, ooh, and there we go. The fungal infection coming in, trying to get rid of that Centaur, but the Moment of Triumph sneaking in to give just enough power and toughness to this Centaur to stay alive, take out the worm, and that's one of the bigger elements on. Okay, I wouldn't advise it, but that Centaur could attack right now. It would only take out a Spider and it would die, so I definitely wouldn't advise it, and it didn't happen. I got like a little bit excited for half a second.
You get excited if the deadweight's not on the Centaur.
Yeah. Siege Worm ready to come out again, though. That's a nice card to be having up your sleeve. All right, so we're going to be taking another 6 damage. If we take 6 damage a turn, there are 10 turns left for Uncle Drake with the amount of cards in the deck. That will be enough to get through and win this game. As things are looking right now, the current forecast points to Uncle Drake's victory. Chump blockers, though, going to be a very helpful force over here for Frico.
I was just thinking about that. I mean, the Siege Worm has trample on Uncle Drake's side, but that's the only thing that has trample.
Exactly. If we get another one of those Saproling generators, if we can throw 4 Saprolings down, that's 4 chump blocks you got to draw this match out any longer. And as much as we don't like to see things slow on speed gaming, I do want to see I want to see someone die to just drawing their whole deck.
X-Water likes the grindy matches. And another 3 life for Frico.
And another Moment of Triumph. Not and that's more a bad card to be sitting on.
Wow. You know, this is the type of thing I expect for blue on blue. I expected this almost from our last match, which did happen nearly once. I did not expect it from a match like this that plays
No, not
green-white
at
versus
all.
green-black. Like, no way. No way.
Yeah, not at all.
Alright, how many cards are left? Frico, go over the deck so we can see it.
I think it's got to be, I think, like 7, maybe 8 right now. I have a feeling Frico will be checking very soon.
The sad thing is, this is only game 2. If Frico can manage to milk Drake, this goes to 3 games. So how much was left? You said 6 or 7 cards?
I think somewhere in that range, yeah.
I do want to point out that if this was if this current match was going by current Magic the Gathering rules, I feel like this would have ended. Let's see. Last match may have ran the full. No, not quite. So here's what would have happened. It would have gone to turns by this point, and if Frico couldn't have beat Uncle Drake by then, which I don't think Frico would have been able to, it would have gone 1-0-1, and the match would go to Uncle Drake if this was traditional Magic in terms of time limits and such.
Yeah. I believe it's what, you get 50 minutes to play the best of 3?
Yeah, you get 50 minutes, and I think we're well beyond that on just this match alone.
Yeah. And there's a big smack right there. 23 life left over here for Frico. Getting Yavimaya Shepherd down, another Saproling. That leaves for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 sacrifice targets for these Thaliids if they decide to sacrifice each other. And with the Tranquil Expanse, we're seeing another land over here for Frico. He's begging, just begging for a top deck that will give him 4 Saprolings or some other kind of presence on this board. But with a Saproling migration over here for Uncle Drake, I see no way that a loss could in any way, shape, or form be imminent. One of these Thaliids is going to have to get through this turn, and one of these Thaliids is going to be getting +10 at the minimum. Ooh, and going big, hitting with the Siege Worm as well. Obviously going to be the block right there for the Centaur. We're going to have 1 Thaliid getting through, doing a total of... I mean, honestly, sacrifice the Siege Worm too. Why not, right?
Yeah, if that Siege Worm is going down anyways...
Yeah, that's going to be a total of 12 additional damage, bringing the creature up to 15. Honestly, if you sack the other blocked Thaliid, the 2 spiders, and the Yavimaya Shepherd as well, is that lethal? I don't think it is, actually.
That's gonna be close.
It will be very close. Moment of Triumph can be used in a last-ditch situation to just gain some health if need be.
Yeah, Moment of Triumph on the Saproling would be something for Frico to consider.
Yeah, it would force another sacrifice out of Uncle Drake, which isn't the worst idea. Gaining that extra bit of life could also be really helpful.
And if this fails, then I believe...
We see no response there, so now we got a board strong enough. One of those is going to get through next turn. They're going to be able to sacrifice the rest of their brethren and do a total of 8 additional damage, bringing it up to 11 total. Yeah, you can't Moment of Triumph through that. You're going to have to attack. Ooh, maybe not. And Deadweight, yep, this is...
That should do it. Yeah, this is game.
Moment of Triumph against that Thaliid with the Saproling last turn could have changed the tide of this battle, but might have just been a small oversight. But I do think this is a well played match from both players.
It was a game of Magic the Gathering.
It's about all we can say at this point.
I mean, there's so much that has already been said about this, and just again, Uncle Drake really good at combat overall. Frico not getting the right cards at the right time, and it just again an unfortunate matchup for both of them, really. Token generation and just so many chump blockers.
Yeah, and with no kill spells on either side, save for dead weights and that weird fungus one, nothing, nothing could really be done to speed that along.
GG to Uncle Drake.
Whew.
Yeah,
That was
GG to both players.
certainly something.
yes, that was. I don't know how the players feel, but I think I'm exhausted after that.
Oh, I'm
exhausted watching it from the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, GG to Uncle Drake with the 2-0 victory. That was awesome. Love to see a bunch of creature battles. With that, we're going to say goodnight to Skybills and Xwater. Let you guys go enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. Thanks for hanging out and talking.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Good luck with the rest of the commentary tonight, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of Wednesday Night Magic on Speed Gaming.
Indeed. Enjoy, everybody, and thanks again to Speed Gaming for holding this.
Yes, for sure. And Sky, I know we're not going to see you next week, but good luck at Calithon. I hope you have a great...
Thanks, I appreciate that. Gonna take a small break from Magic to go out there and do some speedrunning for a good cause out in California. So thank you.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. And to take their places, we're going to bring in Sakura Tsubasa and a community member who was playing last week with us, Zebra Unicorn. Sakura, Zebra, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
I'm doing great, Clifford. I'm excited to watch more Magic.
I am definitely excited. I'm hoping to see no more Saproland for the rest of the day. I'm not gonna lie. That was intense. That was an intense match.
Well,
Yeah, that was a lot.
for a little bit of spoilers, I see RDW Popper there for Keon Lion. So you're gonna see at least some red cards coming up.
I love red cards.
Oh, I know you do. Not sure what Roguelink's playing, but it should be a great match nonetheless. I will let you two take it away. Have fun, and I will see y'all after the match.
Absolutely. Well, I can assume that Roguelink is also playing Magic. I think that's a pretty solid guess here.
I would say that's a solid assumption, yeah.
So I think maybe they're both ready to go. Looks like it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Roguelink's playing.
Yep, same. It's a little hidden on the screen right now, but soon, TM. So, if you're watching this and you are interested in getting involved, if you type in !MTGA, you can get a link to the Discord, and you're going to be invited in every week. We pretty much do something now. So, you can sign up for the commentary or the community role and get involved. Pretty fun.
All right, looks like we're going to be getting started in a second.
Here we go. So let's see what Roguelink's got here. Ooh, I see lots of red and white. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, the classic matchup, White Weenie versus Mono Red.
Well, I think it was supposed to be red-white.
Oh, really?
Maybe not.
I was going to say, it's fortunate for Roguelink that Goblin Chain Whirler is a rare, so he's not going to have to worry about that out of the red deck.
Yep. Those Goblin Chain Whirlers do 1 damage to every creature that comes on the field. So, or basically every creature that's on the field when it comes out, and it can be a pain in the butt. Life gain versus red burn. Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for him to beat.
Yeah. As a mono red player myself, I know the pain of playing against a life gain deck. It is not the best matchup for Kion or Keon Lion. Sorry.
He's built the world's smallest Lyra. All right, so he's gonna need what could he could have Lightning Strike in his deck. That would answer the Healer's Hawk. Yeah, he's gonna need to get that thing off the table fast because all Roguelink will have to do is just like hold the ground long enough for the Healer's Hawk to finish him off. He's only got 4 turns and that thing's gonna kill him.
Yeah, and the other thing is, yeah, he's basically needs some sort of burn spell, whether it be lightning. There's also what is it? Hello, can I speak today? The wizard spell.
Oh, Wizard's Lightning?
Yes, that's it. Duh.
Yeah.
Wizard's Lightning will be able to do it, and it'll only cost 1 because he's got the Pyromancer on the field. If he can draw it, of course.
So this is only commons, right?
Oh, duh, yeah, Pauper.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I actually just looked it up. I didn't know. I never paid attention to the rarities of cards. So I was like, is that common or is that uncommon? Like, I don't actually know. Oh, is Lightning Strike also an uncommon? It used to be a common. So, my old manness is showing. Oh yeah, that's an uncommon now too. Oh wow, yeah, so he just might not be able to beat the Healer's Hawk unless he draws a second shock. So that's a tough break for Kai Lion. Kion Lion?
That's honestly that's the that's the thing about red decks though, is basically you need to get them really quickly. When creatures first come out onto the field with lifelink, they can definitely be detrimental to your play style. So
yeah, when your game plan is to hit them fast and hit them hard, them getting 3 life a turn starting on turn 2 is not what you want to see.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's just dead on board. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's super quick. Red decks, you gotta get them real quick. Red versus white, tough. It's a tough matchup for for Leon.
So this hand seems like pretty good against Roguelink, especially considering. Never mind. So I was gonna say, because he's on the play, the shocks are gonna be good at breaking up the Healer's Hawk Knight's Pledge combo. Because since you can go first, you can hold up the shocks to stop him from like getting ahead early, and then he can like follow up with like a bigger creature later. But
yep.
Unfortunately, since it seems like he mulliganed that hand, he might fall victim to the Healer's Hawk Knight's Pledge combo yet again.
Yep, and we're gonna see it right about now.
Yep, that's gonna be again. That's gonna be tough for him to answer if his only removal is things that deal 2 damage rather than 3. He's gonna need to find something fast. Though at least like if he plays the Frenzied Raptor, that can at least. I mean, I was gonna say it can attack 3 things, but it only has 2 toughness, so it's gonna get brick walled by a Cavalry Drill Master pretty easily. Oh, Cosmotronic Wave would be a good card against Roguelink if it wasn't for the fact that he's made his Healer's Hawk a 3/3, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cosmotronic Wave deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. So if he had that and a few extra lands on the board, maybe a shock, he'd be able to deal with it. So he's got to hope for the right draws. And soon. Very soon.
Yeah, basically what he needs to do now is just put as many creatures as he can onto the board and just hope he can draw some way to answer that Healer's Hawk. Because if he can kill the Healer's Hawk with a decent board presence, he might be able to turn it around.
Intriguing, giving that instead of the life link more toughness.
Yeah, I would have given it to the lifelink just to get further out ahead, but the Cavalry Drill Master does give First Strike, so he can't really block it effectively. I mean, he could have chumped it.
Yeah,
but
he would have had to sacrifice like all of his goblins.
Yeah, so probably would have given it to Healer's Hawk, but it's probably not going to make that much of a difference if
Yeah.
Giant Lion can't find an answer. The Trumpet Blast would be good. Well, he could attack with everything and Trumpet Blast just to like, well, no, because he's at 5. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's got any way out of this.
This is in comparison to the last match. This is super quick.
I know, it's like the first match like took all the time from this match, so they were like, all right, you got 5 minutes to play your entire match, go.
I don't see any, he unfortunately didn't draw anything really that could save him this turn. That, Healer's Hawk is gonna be able to take him out next turn.
But he's not going down without a fight.
Nope, definitely not.
He is going to take a bunch of creatures with him. And
Ooh.
just like that, it's over.
Yep,
That was a
super
one.
quick. That's red deck for you though.
That's what happened, y'all?
Life gain happened. Life gain against red deck. Whew.
Yeah, you know those 2-card combos that win the game. Just
Personally, I would have stuck with the first hand that was drawn just because it was like you had the shock right off the bat, so you had card to play turn 1 if that Healer Hawk came out. But it was a pretty good match.
Yeah, it was. That's the way it goes sometimes. We'll get the next one set up here. The next one is going to be Seabull versus Shuyas, and I may have had a little peek at Shuyas' deck earlier.
Oh.
I may or may not have gotten some secret intel from him about what he's playing tonight. It's I think Sakura will definitely enjoy it.
Oh, I like this. I like the sound of this.
I'm interested to see what he's going to be playing against. Maybe we'll get another red deck.
I like red decks. I said that before, but I can't say it enough.
I mean, it's worth saying again.
When I first started playing Magic, the first deck I ever made was a dragon deck. The second deck I ever made was a angel deck. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So red and white are my two favorites.
I mean, red and white are pretty good colors. I prefer blue and red myself, but I won't hold anything against Boros. They're pretty.
Blue red right now has a really good combo with Terramander.
It really does.
Yep. The amount of times I've seen that card just destroy is pretty high.
What about you, Zebra? What do you like to play the most?
What do I like to play the most? Like, I mean, if I had my way and they still let me play with cards that they don't print anymore, I would just play like Storm all day. But fortunately, that's frowned upon in games of Magic.
You're supposed to play the game with your opponent, not just sit at the table and like goldfish.
Look, man. It's the same reason I like Rando. I just want to sit down and just do puzzles. However, my opponents get in my way of stopping me from doing puzzles. That's up to them.
That's fair. You know,
I just want to do puzzles, man.
Mind's Desire might be my favorite card ever printed. So you know,
Yep.
there's.
I believe that our players may be ready. I'm not sure about Shuya's, but definitely Seawolf looks ready to win. Already nicely done. Has done their dailies. Yo, round of applause for Seawolf, because even I haven't finished my dailies.
Man, you mean you didn't do your dailies before this? That's what I was doing.
I was, but the problem was I kept getting... My daily today is to destroy creatures. As a mono red player, that's easy. If I play somebody who's actually playing creatures. Lately, I seem to be playing a lot of mono blue. Which, yeah. Counter, more counter, and yeah.
To be fair, Mono Blue has creatures, they just don't really like it when you kill them.
Yeah. I can understand that. I'm pretty attached to my creatures too. So we're just waiting up on Shuya's here. We'll get started right away. Probably wasn't expecting the match to go so quickly. Yeah, definitely, yeah, as Chad said, playing Mono Blue as counters, or playing against counters, doesn't help with my achievement, my daily for today, so still a little bit behind. I've only killed 4 creatures. I played more than 4 matches.
Oh no. You just gotta red deck them.
Yeah, see, I just destroyed them instead. And
It's like, oh, my opponents, they don't play any creatures because they're so dead.
yeah, I guess that doesn't help either. A 60 card standard would actually be pretty interesting. Although it would need a time limit.
Yep. All right, so I think we might have found Shuyas. We might be getting someone else in here.
We are.
I'm not really sure. Okay, I think we finally found Shuyas. I
Yay!
think I think they're queuing it up now. So hopefully, we're gonna have some more magic shortly. It looks like we're gonna get some red-white action against the secret deck that I know about, but that Sakura doesn't know about.
Now I want in on the secret.
Oh,
No
the
fair.
secrets will be revealed soon.
Ooh, soon TM. I like it. The mystery. The suspense. I do like the names. I enjoy reading the names of the decks that these players are playing.
Yeah,
Bernie of the Holy.
That'll show them.
All right. Well, now we're getting this stuff kicked off. I will let you guys handle the talking about things. Have fun.
Thank you so much.
Boy, oh boy, here we go.
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. The mystery shall be revealed. What deck is Shuya's playing?
So Saku, if you had built a pauper deck for tonight, what do you think you would have built?
Probably I would have just gone with a white deck. Be fair, something life gain.
Nice.
Yeah, that's I have a white weenie deck and a mono red deck, and now a mono blue deck. I like actually just anything that's one color. It's like pretty solid for me.
It's not bad in current standard. There's
Yeah.
a lot of strong monocolored strategies.
I agree. I also have 4-color gates, which, yeah,
Just
But
the
I never
complete opposite end of the spectrum. Just
exactly. Yeah, it's a single or all the way. But like, I don't think I actually currently have anything that's 2-color at the moment. Oh, actually, I do. I have Hydro Crisis. That was the first thing I drew.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yep.
That is a powerful magic card, as they say.
In my first pack that I drew, I actually drew Hydro Crisis, and so I was like, hey, I should build a deck around this. So I did. Currently, trying to do the matchup. Maybe somebody actually has misspelt something.
Oh, that's possible. But
I wonder if they've misnumbered, misspelt.
it is case sensitive for some reason. I'm not really sure why Wizards chose to make the names case sensitive, but here
Is
we
it
are.
really? To be honest,
It's case
I've always
sensitive, yeah.
just copy pasted. So, oh
yeah,
no,
you
it
copy
just
paste. It just took a
Here we
while.
go.
All right, here we go. We're getting the show on the road.
woohoo.
So, Shuaz
Blue,
is
yikes! Oh
playing
god.
blue black. So, the secret about this blue black deck. Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to be surprised?
I would love to know.
So there are already creatures in this deck. He actually can't deal combat damage.
Oh, wow.
He wins with Clear the Mind, or the 4-mana counter spell that counters a spell and shuffles cards back from your graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kill literally all of their creatures. They can't win anymore. Though,
This is gonna be interesting because you know, Seawolf has already got 3 creatures on the field here.
yeah, I was gonna say the way that this is shaping up, it's Seawolf got on the board quick, which is what he needs to do, with a bunch of different creatures, and Shiaz has drawn a bunch of divinations. So that's basically the opposite of what you want against a start like this. You know, the creatures come out and they're small and numerous, so you don't have time to cast 3-mana removal spell on their 1-drop. It doesn't match up. They've already put out 3 creatures and you're casting your first spell. You fall behind way too quickly. So this one might be over fast.
Yeah,
Shira's
Already down
at
to
6.
yeah, already down to 6 life. Oh, hopefully you can get something. We got a fungal infection here.
Yeah, that's gonna go a long way to stabilizing the board. Shiraz can fungal infection one of the 2/1s in combat and block the other one.
Ooh, instead going for the this is actually a good play. It gets rid of the 2 cards with this.
Yep, that's what he needs, but he still needs a little bit more help. Drew a deadweight so he can take care of the 3/2. Oh, Moment of Craving. That's exactly what he needed.
There we go. Now we're back to stabilizing, at least for now.
Yep, so now Seawolf's gonna need Mephitic Vapors is gonna be a good one against Seawolf.
Vanquish
Oop.
the weak again. It's gonna be able to get rid of cards. Ooh, a haste. Nice.
Yep. Hasty creatures are what you want here. You want to be able to get in there when his shields are down.
That one's gonna be able to stall it out a little bit unless we use cancel. Which is exactly what we're seeing.
Yep. These syncopates though aren't looking so hot considering Seawolf has 6 lands in play. If he keeps drawing like 1 and 2 drops, it's going to be kind of awkward for Shiaz to keep enough mana up to make the syncopates effective while also, spending his mana on other things.
Exactly.
Also, Cosmotronic Wave not looking so hot in the against the deck with no creatures in it. Not going to be a lot of blocking in this match.
Got Take Heart here. But you actually need to have creatures on the board to make that effective.
Yep.
This must be frustrating for Seawolf to see your opponent at 4 health and just not being able to just get that finishing blow.
Yeah, I wonder how much direct damage Seawolf has in his deck, because that could, when you're at 4 life, a couple well-timed burn spells, that can really put the game away.
A few sparks, yeah.
Yeah, just because she has a lot of creature removal, but he doesn't really have a lot of ways to interact with spells, so...
The good thing is, with all the cards that she is drawing, the ability to put them all back into your... and all of the graveyard back into the deck is pretty handy.
Yep. Yeah, each time you shuffle your graveyard back into your library, you're drawing from a deck that is just becoming more and more dense with spells. Because you get all your lands in play, so you eventually approach a point where your deck is just all spells. And that's probably going to get an Essence Scatterer, I'd imagine? Or Syncopate? Looks like he's syncopating, maybe?
Yeah. Now these cosmic waves are again just useless as as his opponent doesn't have any creature cards in the deck, so it's just gonna be constant counters and needs some burn here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I hope he has some shocks or something in his deck, because I don't think creatures are going to be an effective way to win this game at this point.
She is just now? I think I just saw a GG.
I don't know if that was a misclick or something, but...
I hope it was a misclick.
Yeah.
There's a shock.
I was gonna say, because if he just runs some shocks off his deck, that's this game's not over. Certainly. Seawolf is not favored to win this game, but he's certainly not completely out of it. I wish I could see how many cards are in Chuyas' deck. I'm wondering how close we're getting to him just, having, mostly spells and divinations.
Yep.
So something that is... Oh, I guess that probably wouldn't matter. I was going to say something that is important is that Devious Cover-Up actually exiles the spell it's countering, but I'm assuming Seawolf has no way to get spells back out of his graveyard. I was thinking of a scenario in my head where, he gets a shot countered, but he gets it back later, so he can effectively generate more shocks. But I don't think you can do that with commons.
Man, more counter spells. Cancel there.
Oh, skewer the critics. I did not know that was a common until right now, but that's important. So I think what Seawolf's best bet is to do at this point is just try and wait until he has a critical mass of burn spells in his hand so that he can cast a lot in one turn.
Yep, and
just to try and overload Shia's counters.
And I think that's exactly what he's doing right now. The big issue is that he's gonna need an awful lot, and it looks like he hasn't been having any burn spells for a long time. So, and we see that he does have shock, he does have skewer in the deck. I'm hoping he's got at least I'm hoping he's got 4 of each of those, so that at least in the meantime, as soon as
oh yeah, this is a good play. So Vanquish the Weak is I think what it's called. It's destroys a creature with power 3 or less. So he's casting Take Heart in response to make it 4 power to effectively counter the spell. He's moving in. This is his time to strike. Get him when he has mana tapped.
Yeah, but the problem is that we still have some counters. Not going to be enough to counter Skewer, though.
Yeah. That was a good play by Seawolf, just, picking his spots when to cast his burn spells to try and overload Shia's mana.
So clearing out, I do like this. Clearing out his spells here, or his hand. Trying to get rid of all these cards. Eventually he's gonna run out.
That moment of craving was pretty brutal. It's just, when you're dealing damage in 2 and 3 increments, it's just...
Yep.
Gaining 2 life is like so much. It's just like an entire extra spell you need to draw.
See, and there's the shuffling it all back into the deck. So again, less lands in the deck now because we've got all the lands on the field pretty much. So now we got 2 creatures out.
So he can... Yep, he's going to eviscerate 1. So this is exactly what Seawolf wants to do. So he gets to... Playing the Goblin Instigator, it makes 2 permanents that she just has to deal with. It just, you're just slowly grinding him out of spells this way.
Yep.
Because every time he has to use 2 spells to deal with 1 of your cards, that's just more cards you're forcing him to have in his hand to answer your spells.
Exactly.
I gotta say, Seawolf has played this very well. He's been very patient with his tricks and just like waiting for the opportune times to cast them to make Shiaz expend the most amount of cards and mana to answer his threats.
Keeping him at a nice low amount. But now Seawolf is starting to get all those lands. So hopefully going to be able to catch up. Or sorry, yeah, Seawolf is hopefully going to be able to try to catch up with lands for Shiaz so that when we get the Cineplate that he can answer it with the mana.
It's another Skewer. Hunted Witness, another great example of a card that demands 2 removal spells from your opponent to answer. Man, she has just barely hanging on. Only 2 cards in hand.
And they're both good.
But he's got an Artful Dodge and an Opt, which, depending on what's on the top of his deck, could be anything. Could be another Opt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cancel. Oh man, he just keeps finding a counterspell just every turn. He's like no counterspells in hand. He just finds it with the last draw.
But the thing is, again, with all those lands on the field, you know, he's going to be drawing spell after spell after spell here.
Yeah, the window for Seawolf to get in that last 5 damage may be closing. Oh, but I was wrong. Cosmotronic Wave effectively dealt with that Saproling token.
The one Saproling, yes. The one creature. He's been holding onto that card for so long now.
I was gonna say, I might have lied a little bit when I said that he couldn't deal combat damage. He does have 2 fungal infections in his deck. All right, we're down to 1 card.
1 card each.
Oh man, this is exciting. Oh, divination. Oh man. Oh no, another divination.
Yep.
Oh no, he might be pulling ahead. Okay, that's not a land for Seawolf, unfortunately.
Yep. So many lands.
Yeah, now he's hitting. He ran a lot of spells off the top for a bunch of turns, which is exactly what he needed. But now he's hitting the lands that he didn't draw for a while.
Yeah, and she is unfortunately still at 5. Was at 4 before, so you know, can continue to gain more life until we run out of cards here.
Unfortunately, I think what's he got? He's got a syncopate and a cancel, 2 cancels. Yeah, I think the window might have closed for Seawolf. I'm not sure he can draw enough good cards in a row and have them resolve to be able to pull this one out at this point. But you know, he's got to be running out of lands in his deck. He's got what, like 18 lands in play in his hand. So he's probably running maybe like 22, 23. So he's probably drawn a lot of it, the vast majority of his lands at this point. So
Exactly.
wow, he has cast a lot of spells.
Yep.
Yeah, he's had enough.
Yeah.
He's
I can
tapping out.
understand. I can understand. It's tough. Like, you know what cards are in your deck. He might not have had any more burn spells, and you know his opponent keeps shuffling everything back into his deck. So it just seems like that would be a tough one.
Yeah, you hit a point where you're like, you know what's in your hand, so you're like, okay, so you know your opponent has 7 cards in their hand, and they've been drawing, so you assume that they probably have at least 2 counters. And that's like, all right, so that means I need to draw 2 burn spells to get out their counters, and then I still need to draw 2 more burn spells to actually like kill them. And at that point, it's like, you know, it's a pretty tall order.
Now, interestingly enough, it seems like Shuya's is in his sideboard, which is not allowed during this week.
Oh, he might have not gotten the memo. Well, it looks like she got a sideboard, which is not ideal, considering there aren't supposed to be sideboards. But on the bright side, the duress missed, so so we're even. This is a great start from Seawolf.
Yep.
This is exactly what he needs. He's just gotta... He's probably going to be able to keep the pressure on, considering he drew 2 Hunted Witnesses, which, as I said in the last game, are very good at dodging removal.
See, that's the one that, I guess that wasn't in before. Right? I'm pretty sure I don't recognize that card, but I mean, it might have been, but it wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, I got a hold of Shuyaz. I told him he didn't know there was no sideboarding, so I told him there aren't sideboards in that they should redo the game. so we conceded, so we're gonna try it again with pre-sideboard configurations.
Okay,
Right, so
and
looks like we're starting over.
I don't know if we're starting over or I think we're no, that, yeah, it looks like we're starting over now.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna re-challenge each other so they can be de-sideboarded, I think.
They're just communicating with the players. So give it a moment and we'll get started.
So, Saku, how'd you like that first game?
The first game was pretty intense. As a red player, I was feeling the pain that Seawolf was going through.
Feeling a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah, because like at some point you just like you feel so hopeless when you can't play any cards over and over and over again. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that game was, I think, pretty close. Like it might not seem like that on the surface, but like there were several turn windows where if Seawolf drew the correct combination of cards, that he definitely could have pulled that game out. So
yeah,
it was definitely a pretty close game for a while, even though Shuyaz managed to pull it out.
I'm wondering how many burn spells Seawolf has in his deck.
I would imagine he probably has 4 Shocks and 4 Skewer the Critics. Just because, they double as removal, so you want to have some way to interact with your opponent's permanents. So that would be my guess. But we did see a lot of his deck. He probably has 4 and 4. But I don't know. He does have a lot of spells in his deck. Because we know he has Cosmotronic Wave, and we know he has the pump spells. So.
Okay, so this is a scary hand for Seawolf. He can't play anything currently in his hand. He's got 1 land. So he's got to get a mountain. Ooh.
That is, yeah, that's a risky keep on one land.
Yeah.
For exactly this reason. It's like, not only do you need to draw a land, but it has to be a mountain. So it's like, you know, assume he's running like 10 mountains, maybe. It's, you know.
And the other scary thing is, again, we're dealing with a deck that's got counter after counter after counter. So you got to get those cards out fast before they get the mana in order to be able to cast those spells.
Yeah, you cannot give him time to set up. You have to come out fast, and you have to hit him hard. You have to hit him hard and fast early.
Exactly.
Yeah, because once he can sit on open mana, it's going to be tough to get anything going.
He's got one card out now, but we're going to see probably that card get taken out pretty quickly. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I think so. Since Shuas isn't taking any damage, he kind of has the luxury of just being able to, like, he can take a couple hits and kind of see what, you know, how many creatures Seawolf will deploy, so that he can, you know, choose the best creatures to kill. Also, he has Mephitic Vapors in his hand, which gives -1/-1 to all creatures. So exactly this, he can wait for Seawolf to play a couple creatures and then kill a lot of them with one spell.
Yep. Now, the sucky thing is, with only one mountain, basically can only play one card each time, because everything in his deck pretty much requires, except for, I think he's got Healer Hawk? Healer's Hawk?
Yeah, he's got some Healer's Hawks, he's got some Hunted Witnesses. I think he has some Cavalry Drill Masters, but that might have been the deck from the last round. I don't really remember. But yeah, he's definitely going to want to draw another red source to really, really get things going. Being able to cast Dark Bargain in this matchup is pretty huge. Being able to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and select the 2 best ones is pretty nice when you're looking for a specific subset of cards.
Exactly. And again, still no mountains. So only going to be able to cast one creature.
Yeah, this is rough. What, another fungal infection?
There's another Saproling. Not going to be able to block the Healer's Hawk, so I'm going to use fungal infection on Healer Hawk, and then, you know, wait for another creature to come on the field, and that's a 1/1 or something, and then block it. But not that one.
Unless it's another Healer's Hawk, which it does not get blocked by Saproling token. The perfect counterplay. Man, we need another mountain. So
we do desperately need another mountain. You can see all the mana on the other side of the field, basically how many turns we've gone through.
Yeah, I know.
There we go. Finally. Is it gonna be... Business. Yeah. Is it gonna be soon enough?
The only issue I see, the classic when you're mashing the spacebar through your turn, you accidentally attack with all your creatures.
Wait, you
I've
can
definitely
use
done
the
that
space
more than
bar
once.
for that? I just clicked.
Yeah, if you hit the space bar, it's like hitting OK. So,
Oh,
yeah. So I've definitely attacked with more than one 0-5 Surge Mare before, but I didn't mean to. Just like, yep, just send it in there. I don't want to block anyway.
interestingly enough, I've seen him holding on to that cancel, but not using it. Could have canceled. At least I believe he could have canceled the last card here.
Yeah, I think what's probably happening is she has pretty much just, I would assume, thinks he has like the board under control. Like he really doesn't need to counter creatures at this point. And he's probably just saving the cancel for like any burn spells that Seawolf might draw.
Well, he actually had cancel for Skewer, which I'm surprised he didn't use it for.
Oh, he might just been like, if it was when he was at 9, I would say like the danger zone for him is like the 6 and below range.
Yeah.
Because when you're at 9, there's not really a combination of cards your opponent can have that are going to kill you in one turn. So you can kind of like ration. You can kind of like reason out what they could probably be doing. Like he knows that Seawolf hands all spells because he was missing land drops for so long. But you can kind of reason out if they were burn spells or not based on how he's made plays earlier. So Shios probably knows that they're not burn spells just by like he would have used them by now,
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably reasoned out that they're probably like Cosmotronic waves or something, which is the case.
So
Though
this is
he does not have any removal now.
Nope.
So this
Trying to
new
draw.
one is doing some work.
trying to draw for that.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Because if he doesn't,
Oh,
Fungal
there we go.
infection.
Fungal
Oh,
infection.
man.
Yeah, saving the day.
I was gonna say if he doesn't find one soon, he's got 2 turns. Oh, skewer the critics, man. Oh, here comes the Cosmotronic wave. Just on cleanup duty. Just
Yep.
taking out that Saproling.
And this is where we'll see cancel. Or nope.
Yeah, he's probably gonna syncopate
There you
it
go.
because he's tapped out. So syncopate's one of the you want to save your cancel for.
Yeah.
Cancel always counters whatever it's trying to counter. Syncopate, it might counter it, it might not. You never really know.
So at this point, now that he has no creatures on the field, this is going to be counter, counter, counter.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Seawolf's gonna again need to draw a bunch of spells in a row, like in the next couple turns.
And we're going to probably end up seeing a lot of land soon. Because
Yep.
Seawolf, unfortunately, at the beginning, didn't really have any. And yeah, here comes all the land.
Here are the lands we didn't have on turns like 1 through 6.
And another one, yes, there it is.
Well, don't worry, guys. We found the mountains. They were right there in the middle of the deck all along.
Interesting. Oh, there we go. Yep.
Ooh, Dark Bargain is not what you want to see right now when you're at 4 life.
More drawing.
So we got... I guess those syncopates are pretty much hard counters at this point. She has got, what, like 12, 16, 18
Oh, yeah.
lands in play?
More
So,
than enough.
yeah,
More than
I
enough.
would say that the counter wall is up at this point. I don't I don't know if Seawolf's going to be able to break through.
Yeah, there is a lot of counter cards in that hand right now.
The Syncopate for 12.
The problem is that once we get another, shuffle the graveyard into the deck play, then again it's gonna be all cards that
Wait,
can
what?
be hit, all spells.
Oh, he must have misclicked. That, I mean, it's not gonna kill him, but now he needs to draw a removal spell. Oh man, that was
Whoopsies.
that was yeah, that's an oops if I've ever seen one. It is a certified oops. Oh, now he's, oh man.
Yeah. He definitely can't use.
Oh, he drew it!
Wow! The luck!
He drew it! Oh my
The
god!
luck! Oh my god!
Could you imagine misclicking so badly and then getting bailed out?
I can't imagine because my luck. She has got like the rabbit's feet and horseshoes and everything going on over there. Goodness gracious!
Oh man, this is... Ooh, 2 lands, okay. Where?
Well, this
oh
is...
man, the shock.
Are you... I don't know. I wouldn't use it. I would...
No.
Yeah, I would wait. Put out a creature spell, get it countered, or something, and then use it when his land is tapped or something.
Yeah, you gotta try and... You gotta hold on to that shock for like the perfect moment.
Yeah, you gotta bait him. And there, I believe he has something, though, that lets him gain life. Can't remember which spell it is, but he's definitely got one in there that allows him to gain life.
Yeah, he has the Moment of Craving, which is...
Oh.
Your creature... Ooh, I would wait.
I would have waited, too.
Yeah.
With 5 cards in the hand,
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to get the game over at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. In matchups like this, it's really tough to be as patient as you need to be sometimes. Because it's not fun being the red-white guy in this situation. Because you're just sitting there and they're drawing cards and they're killing all your creatures and you get to a point where you're just like, all right, whatever, like, you're just killing all my stuff. But you have to like you gotta like really pick your spot to try and get them. And it's hard. It's not easy.
And you know that he, like, at the moment he hasn't played anything that makes you discard cards. So there's nothing that stops you from holding on to a lot of cards.
Yeah, you can just sit there and just wait till you can play like 7 spells in one turn. Just because he's not going to kill you. You're like, he's going to deck you. So you're how many turns you have to live is like public knowledge, right?
Yep.
It's just like, I have this many cards in my deck, so I can sit here. You have the Moment of creating a response. Stay at 2. But she also doesn't have a counterspell now. So Seawolf draws burn. Man, this game is this is really close.
Yeah, this is the life gain I was talking about.
Yeah, that moment of craving specifically is huge because that removes shock as an out for Seawolf and Skewer. Oh my god!
Oh god!
If you drew it like a turn ago, he would have got him. Oh man.
Yeah. And now the other thing is he knows that there's no counter spells in his hand yet at the moment.
Yeah. Yep.
So he just needs to draw the right card.
Yeah, he just needs to draw a burn spell and that's it.
This
oh my god.
Yep. Oh my god, the land.
This is really really close.
Oh my god, and not another counter card.
No, 3-2. We don't want a 3-2 right now. Clear Mind, not a counter spell.
Yep.
It's gonna put a lot of counter spells back though, so that's That's important.
Yep. Just and here's the draw card. Yeah. So
Oh
gonna
my
be
god.
looking for. There's a counter spell. That was it. That was the moment. And unfortunately, the magic gods.
Oh my god! It drew the
No,
button answer!
that would have. Oh no, not cancel.
Oh, man.
Okay, well we're back to no counters. So we're back to no counters. That no,
man.
this 2 more cards. Oh, there's jeez.
Well, moment doesn't beat a burn spell. If he draws just straight shock or something, moment doesn't beat that because there's nothing in the moment of craving.
Oh.
Yeah, so he still can't beat a burn spell right now. Oh,
But
man.
we can't get a burn spell. Oh
I know.
my god, please. This game is so close.
He's digging. He knows he is on thin ice.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, the
Oh,
DPS
man.
combo! So it's funny. I feel like if I was Seawolf at this point, I just wouldn't play any more creatures. Because you have to assume that, like, he's, just because of the way the game played out, you can kind of reason out that, like, he's just been drawing the counters, like, as you've been casting the burn spells. So his hand's probably all removal. And because he has Moment of Craving in his deck, you don't want to give him the opportunity to gain 2 life and go up to 4. Because you can pretty much assume that, like, if his hand's 7 removal spells, you're never attacking with the creature for the rest of the game. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I almost would just wait. I think that's, like, your only shot.
But this is this will be mentally draining on Seawolf. You've got to be taking into consideration, how many times things have been shuffled in. Probably doesn't have any lands, doesn't know what he's got in his hands. So you got to kind of like remember what's in the deck. You're frustrated because you can't play anything, and yeah, it's something.
Yeah,
This
I'm not saying that, like, oh, he misplayed, like, it's so bad. I'm just saying, like, I think that was his line. But when you're in the moment and you're the one playing the game, like, it's hard to see that stuff when, like, you're in it, because it's, like, weird, right? It's like, it's kind of weird that you're like, oh, I just need to never play a creature ever again. Like, when you're trying to deal them 2 damage, it's just, like, kind of counterintuitive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was his best shot. But I mean, it's not a great shot. But I think that was his best play. But yeah, I think again the window may have cleared out. He's had enough.
Yeah.
That was close for a while though.
Yeah, it honestly comes down to the draw. If Seawolf would have gotten a shock or a spectacle, or sorry, not spectacle.
Skewer.
Skewer, that's it. Yeah, if he would have gotten a skewer or a shock during that little window that he had, but it was lands, because right at the beginning, without any lands, that was tough.
Yeah, if he had more lands at the beginning, it would be a completely different game. Like if he could have deployed his creatures faster, like that definitely could have been a difference.
And holding all those lands in Seawolf's hand, didn't then have the land to counter, to make him make sure he tap all his mana, so that he could play other cards, kind of thing. So it was interesting, but that was a rough match.
Yeah, to Seawolf's credit, I think he played it to the best of his ability. Like he knew to pick his spots to try and bait things out. Just wasn't enough, but definitely well played by both players. That was exciting to watch, honestly. Like
it was crazy, yeah.
It really was. It was a really close match, all things considered.
Yeah, that was that like 3 or 4 turn window where she doesn't have a counter, and if Seawolf threw a burn spell, like he got him, and like she would just draw the counter the turn before he draw the burn spell, and it was like, oh my god.
There was so much back and forth. Now with that, we're gonna move on to a game, the last game of the night, between a couple of people who won earlier, Kaizen Ma and Rogue Link.
All right. So if I remember correctly, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if I remember correctly, Kaizen was playing blue-black with creatures.
Yes, there were
a key notation, and Rogue Link was mono white.
On mono white, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. So this should be pretty interesting.
Poor Seawolf. On to the fun matches again. Yeah, I can definitely understand with control decks and counter decks and stuff. It's hard to be playing against that because it's like, oh, you want to play a spell? Oh, you want to play a spell? Nope, no spell for you.
Yeah, it can be. It can definitely be mentally taxing.
Yep.
It's like pushing a boulder up a mountain.
Well, it looks like we're almost ready to go here with this match between a couple of winners. Y'all have fun and close out the night strong. I'll see you after this one's over.
See you.
Thank you, Clifford.
All right, Kaizen versus Rogue Link.
So it is worth noting that I think that in this matchup, the 2-card combo of +2/+2 enchantment and Healer's Hawk isn't going to be quite as effective against the blue-black deck.
No, definitely not. Ooh, but no Healer Hawk right off the bat. Oh, there's a Healer Hawk.
We're mullining. The combo. We are mulliganing to that.
I'm actually.
This deck does one thing and one thing well.
Yep. I'm actually interested because of the fact that all these players have come in and they've had their little text bubbles or whatever. I have those turned off.
Oh, I'm in the same boat. I am just when I'm playing Arena, I'm just like sitting here with like a stream open. I'm just like clicking buttons. I'm
Yep.
I'm not paying attention to what my opponent's doing.
Sorry, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to win with my red mono deck.
Yeah, just keep your head down and throw burn spells at their face.
Exactly.
All right, so it looks like the Healer's Hawk was met with a dead weight, so took care of that in short order.
Yep. We have the ability to play a Silverbeak Griffin, though. So might be kind of holding on to it because we did see, could play a -2/2 and wants to be holding out to put on that Knight's Pledge. So
yeah, maybe he's trying to set it up so he can do it in one turn.
Yep. So instead, we're probably going to see... Yeah, that's not going to be enough because he's got 2 mana. He's going to be able to get it onto the field either way. But not going to be able to play the Knight's Pledge, which, might give Kaizen another turn.
I feel like it's almost... See, because he can't counter the Silverbeak Griffin, so I don't even think he would really counter the Knight's Pledge. He might,
No,
actually.
I think he might.
Because what he can do, because if he lets it resolve, it's a 4/4, so then he can just untap and Artful Takedown it, so he gets 2 cards for his 1 card if he does it that way. Because since Rogue Link's tapped out, he knows there's not going to be a pump spell,
Yep.
which Rogue Link has. So that's well sequenced by Kaizen there.
Ooh, Luminous Bonds. Yucky. I play that. Target creature can't attack or block. So, at the moment we have a currently useless card sitting on the field.
Ooh, Skeleton Archer. Now that is a card that is going to be effective against Rogue Link. It's a 3/3, and when it comes into play, it deals 1 damage to any target. So you get to shoot those Squadron Hawks right out of the sky.
I'm seeing a theme here with Rogue Links. We didn't really get an opportunity to see it the last match because the matches were over so far. But it looks like we have a flying theme in this deck.
Little bit of a mono white skies. The intrusive pack beast is going to be doing work soon, though.
Kaizen opting to scry here, trying to get dead weight.
Oh, Roguelink's going to want to draw a land. Ooh, this nice. Okay, I was going to say if you play the pack beast, it's going to get syncopated, but Roguelink is effectively playing around syncopate by playing the 2-mana spell instead of the 5-mana spell. Heads up play by him. Ooh, unfortunately for Roguelink, this isn't going to work out the way he wants it to. So the pump spell's going to get +2/+2, but Deadweight's an enchantment. So at the end of turn, the pump effect's going to go away.
Yep. So intrusive pack beast is going to get countered here, but another one in the hand. So, and Kaizen no longer has any.
Oh man, he drew less than scatter.
Never mind.
I was gonna say nobody ever expects a second pack beast.
Yep, but conveniently we just happen to get a counter spell.
But unfortunately, Kaizen was prepared for the second pack beast.
So more flying creatures. Can't deal enough damage to kill the skeleton archer. Has to block. Running a little bit low on the health. Got another blocker here.
Yeah, Roguelink can keep blocking for a couple turns, but he's gonna need. I'm not sure what he needs to draw Luminous Bonds. He needs to answer the 3/3. Oh, that's the Snapper is gonna be hard to answer though. That thing is I believe a 4 or 5 hexproof if I remember correctly. So you're not gonna be touching that thing.
Quite tough.
And that's gonna be it, because Kaizen can get rid of the Cavalry Drillmaster. Yep, and attack with his 2 creatures. And that's gonna be it.
Yep.
On to game 2.
Yep, game 1 to Kaizen. That was a really good match. Well played by both players. I do like in Best of 3 how you can choose to play first or pass.
Yep. A very good opening hand from Roguelink here. He's going to be able to curve out nicely, which is exactly what you want when you're on the play against a control deck.
Exactly. Getting that nice lifelink. 3 health right off the bat. Gonna get some more flying creatures out.
Yep, so he's gonna get in, but he's gonna be met with a moment of craving, unfortunately.
Which currently at the moment is still fine.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It just slows down your beatdowns. It's the type of spell that just helps bridge the gap into the late game for the control deck. You know, you really don't want to see it, but you know, it's not the end of the world. But you would prefer them not have it, certainly.
Absolutely.
I mean, all these comes into play. Tap plans are really slowing down Kaizen's development. Oh, wait, was that a Deadweight? Yep, Deadweight's going to be important here. I feel like if I was Kaizen, I might have held on to the Deadweight instead of killing the Healer's Hawk, because you have the Skeleton Archer, so you know that you're going to be dealing 1 to any target in the future. So I think I might have saved the dead weight for something that the Skeleton Archer can't take care of, like, for instance, the Silverbeak Griffin. But, because you know you're going to play the Skeleton Archer at some point, because you want to start attacking, so I would prefer to get my value.
Alright, we got Op. We might see that being used. Just to see what's coming up. Deadweight, good choice. Will Deadweight be played though? Oh,
Deadweight on the Pegasus.
interesting.
Oh, I see what he's doing. So what Kaizen's trying to set up is he's deadweighted the Pegasus so that next turn he can play the Skeleton Archer and finish it off.
Yep.
So that's a heads-up play by him.
I actually do love the cards that allow you to draw. I find that they are very, very handy. Especially mid-game.
Yep. Drawing cards is probably one of my favorite things to do in Magic. Next to, you know, just killing my opponent outright with a combo. big fan of that too, but you know, drawing cards is nice. One thing usually leads to another.
Will we see? Nope, no fungal infection. I was actually interested to see if he would use fungal infection on Pegasus to get another attacking creature for next turn, but might opt to. This is actually a good play.
Yep. So the fungal infection's gonna. Yep.
Yep. But
Gonna put an end to that.
unfortunately, Roguelink couldn't have known about that. We have our Snapper coming up, though, pretty soon.
The Snapper has ended many a game of Limited. That is a... Hexproof is a powerful keyword.
Yep. And that's the important thing about Pauper decks, is to kind of, like, they have to have some sort of win condition. That was, I guess, our issue with the last match, was although we had a deck that kind of went on for a long time, there was really no play that would really end it for... there was really no play that would end it, I guess.
Yeah, it's with Pauper, which I think makes it interesting, is the power level is generally reasonably flat amongst the cards. There's no like crazy rares like Hydroid Crisis or something,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I made this 10/10 flying trample creature that drew me 10 cards. Like, it's like, okay.
Yep.
Oh, and that's the end of the game. The Snapper did him in.
Yeah, so getting that creature out, Snapper, there's not a lot of other creatures that are, you know, that tough and have hexproof in commons.
Yeah, Snapper is a unique creature, certainly.
So GG to Kaizen.
GG indeed. Kaizen Ma wrapping up the night with a 2-0 win over Rogue. What did you guys like most about tonight? Seeing all the comments, seeing everything we've seen. What was your favorite part?
I just like to see the combinations, like the different combinations of the decks. Because normally when you're playing Arena, you're kind of seeing a trend of the same things over and over and over again. So being able to just see the commons and, you know, see what else is out there is really cool in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. So while I typically identify as a Spike, I really like like formats like this where it's like you get interesting deck building restraints, because people really come up with some like wild stuff sometimes. Like you can really come up with some crazy things that people might not expect, which I feel like, really breaks up the sometimes monotony of, like the same 6 standard decks over and over again.
Restrictions breed creativity. I believe
Yep.
I've heard once or twice in a Magic circle.
Exactly. It is a famous quote.
And for those of you in the chat who are interested in getting involved, again, if you type in !MTGA and join that Discord that's at the bottom of the little blurb there, then ask for the community role, then maybe you can get involved, play a game on this stream, and it'll be fun.
Indeed. I'll be handing out roles for the next several hours, so make sure to ping Clifford in the Discord if you want one. That will bring us to the end of another Wednesday Night Magic. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to be doing the same kind of thing, I think. We might go back to a little more of the baseline standard and see what's going on. Expect an announcement tomorrow in the Discord about what the format will be. I will be announcing it around noon Eastern time, so stay tuned for that. Also, still coming up next month, on the weekend of the 19th through the 21st April, we are going to be hosting a tournament. Keep eyes and ears out for details on that. They will be coming soon, I promise. And do any of you have any final words before we get out of here tonight?
I just wanted to say thank you again, everyone, so much for watching. Not only watching, but also participating. We have a really large community in the speedrunning community, and we know that there's a lot of people out there who really enjoy Magic. So it's nice to be able to find other people who enjoy the same things that we do, and to be able to play together and have fun. It's really good. It's really good for the community, and I just appreciate every single one of you. So thank you.
Well said. Zebra, what about you? As a community member coming in to talk, what do you think? What are you enjoying this Wednesday Night Magic thing?
Yeah, I think this is great. Just there's so many people in the speedrunning community that play Magic, apparently. I just honestly didn't know until we started this. But yeah, it's great to play Magic with people, see everyone. People like being broadcast, as we've learned from rando tournaments. So it's cool that you guys are doing this and giving people a platform to show off their sweet decks and things. But yeah, thanks to everyone that put this show on. Thanks for having me on tonight as a guest. That was appreciated. It was fun. But yeah, this is cool.
Well, all right. Then I think there's nothing left but to sign off. For Zebra Unicorn, Sakura Tsubasa, Skybills, and Xwater earlier who were here. Big shout outs to them too. I've been Clifford. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
See ya.